In as much as we have so many beautiful, admirable, aesthetical, cultural, and traditional practices in Nigeria, there are also existent the bad, the weird, and the absurd ones. And today on the Vigilant podcast, I have with me myself, I have Grace, and a new person in the house, Precious, is here today. And we are going to look at those absurd practices that we neglect. We don't really talk about them, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. They are in existence and people are still practicing it. As a matter of fact, so many people are practicing it and they believe in it. And today on the podcast, we are going to be looking through all of those and seeing through all of them. Okay, there are a few aspects to what we want to discuss about the absurd traditional practices in Nigeria. But before we do that, we'd like to start with some of those practices because most people, or let me say some people, might not know what we are talking about. So, Grace, can I start with you? What do you have anyone to give us any of the absurd practices?
Okay, before I start, I'm from Amigeda is from the south.
Okay.
Edo State to be precise, and people know Benin to be a place that they is a tradition setting place.
Yes.
And there are so many things happening there that you feel, this tradition is absurd. Like there's one they called when a king dies, use 7 heads to bury, you understand? And they're still practicing it.
Oh, wow.
They're still practicing it. During that time that a king will die, you will see that they will tell you nobody should come out so time, just because of this, the kind of tradition that is taking place that particular time. Some heads will be cut off to bury. Even I even learned that some of these people that are captured, they are buried alive. There's another one they said maybe anytime there's one activity of the other, maybe I think there's a festival they do in Benin. If they are doing that festival and the king comes out, maybe any girl he sights at that very moment, if he just points his finger at the lady, automatically you have become his wife. Willingly, or with your consent or consent whatsoever it is, your parent has no right to
say no.
Even
and
you
all
yourself,
of that. You cannot say no.
you understand? We have genital mutilation. Still in this jet age of ours that
in this
century. This act is not only an fundamental infringement to human rights, with the excuse of they don't want the girl child to be promiscuous during the marriage settings and all of that. And in this age, just different unnecessary excuse. We have what's it called, tribal marks, when an innocent child that just come innocently to life with beautiful skin that God has blessed him or her with. You understand? Giving him or her. I'm a living witness, and I'm a living experience too. I have one in my.
It's good you're talking from experience.
I have one, and I think during that time, I know the hell. Like heaven wanted to come down when my father get to know about it. You understand? Because this is a man that is always giving from mother side. To the matter of fact, they didn't even tell my father.
Your parents?
They did not tell my father. My mother was aware. They just for him to travel, coming back, see a
you
man.
Already received it.
You understand? And there are some, and these are some consequences of this act. There are some forced work now when you want to go into it, or you want to register, you want for recruitment or whatsoever. They have to check your body if there are all these marks, and it will restrict you for so many things. You understand? Okay, the early child marriage too. A child of 15 years, putting her out there for marriage. which emotions, with which mindset, how do you want the girl child to handle it? And all in the name of you are depriving the girl child for her not to be promiscuous, not to all in the name of maybe don't act in a fornication way, and you think that that's a solution, killing the child's dream. There are so many dreams that child has that or want to achieve in life. You just kill it all of a recent because of this is the tradition. So that's the little I can say about it.
Most of these things, they have one thing in common or two things in common. One is it is gender based. If you look at it closely, you see that it's mainly the female gender that is
at the receiving end.
And again, one other thing about it is always without consent. Just imagine a child that was just given birth to you. You did not even ask for the tribal marks.
No, sometimes they usually say this tribal mark of a thing, if you don't have it, you're actually prone to like convulsion. That's what's most
different excuse that is not even proven.
I don't have any, and I've not witnessed anything.
Because some of their excuses is not even proven. Okay, let me quickly say this concerning the early child marriage. I saw a post on Facebook one time. Let me quote the write up of the person. Saying,
okay.
I said, if she can comfortably take some knacks as early as 15, I see nothing wrong in I see nothing wrong in marrying her off at the early stage.
Oh God. So
you understand?
To the point,
marriage is better than early fornication. That is the
that justifies
there were some people commenting that he's right. You understand? At this age, a child of 15 years, what notion do you want to say? Emotional state of that
because
child.
Even most adults don't know what they are doing in marriage. Talk more of a child that still needs parental upbringing.
I can say 15. When I was 15 years, my mother still used to tell me, monitor how I bathe. 15 years.
Yeah, you still need to be directed.
And you want that kind of child to go and be a nursing mother.
You that is supposed to be babied is now baby.
That is what my younger brother said when they said picking born picking. That shows you.
And these people tend to forget that marriage is actually for mature minds, like mature people, not kids.
No, I'm even saying it doesn't even work for some matured people. Talk more of a child that doesn't know her left to her right. It's so sad. It's an irony. And Precious, I know you have something for us, so go on with it.
Okay. She mentioned a culture where they have to cut 7 heads to bury
a king.
I heard of one certain time, I think Yoruba culture, where they call them Abubakun.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, they call them Abubakun, where you give birth to a child, and I don't even know how they even get to know.
That child is
destined to die with the king.
Yes.
And from birth, funny enough, this child
start working with the king. No educational.
So no, aside the educational of some, there was a movie I watched, a movie I watched. This one, the boy kept asking his father, like, why is it that this king give me money when I don't ask for the money?
Okay.
They sent me to the best school. Like, they did everything for the boy. The boy didn't even know that he was an Abubakun. He didn't know. Okay, when the king fell sick, they had to send some elders to the guy's school to come and call him back. Like, it's your time to die.
So his destiny is tied with that of the king.
Exactly.
That if the king dies,
he has to die too. A very young boy.
Wow.
Like, the tradition is crazy, actually crazy. And in terms of the early marriage of a child, Cross River State, they have this thing they call money bride, where even where the girl child have to pay the debt of their parents. And it's actually like I find this very, very annoying, because you sell off your child for as little as 2,000 naira just because you borrowed 2,000 naira to eat.
Please, are these things still exist?
Yes, they practice it.
It looks like what we see in
practice it actually, because
go to Akwa Ibom. Some children that do house girl, it's just because their parents are owing.
I read this in history where you can marry off your wife to a stranger just to pay that, but I didn't know it's still existent.
Yes, it's still existing, because as at last year, some media organization went there to conduct interview with these victims and all of that, And most of them said if they try running away from it, there's this god called Olambe also. And then if you try running away from it, it will strike you dead.
This looks like a movie
You
to
can't
me.
escape it.
This
And
African magic epic.
And in that community, that is Bechief community,
Yes.
in Obalinku local government in Cross River State, if, as a man, if you don't have all this child bride, and you can't call yourself a man, they see it as like it means
prestige.
Yes, they see it as a
Are you
prestige.
for real?
Yes. Yes. So
Wow.
parents sell their children off as little as 2,000 naira and even tuber of yam or even chicken pigs. Like it's crazy.
Let's not forget widowhood practices too.
Man, I'm
That
coming
one
to
said
that
now,
one.
that
I'm
one
coming to that one.
That one
I
said
said it
no.
before that most of these things, they are gender based. They are gender. If you look at it, it's just the females like at the outside of it.
Yeah, we are the
If
receiving
you're
end.
talking about the
Widowhood practices.
practices.
Yeah.
If you look at it, if a man should lose his wife, those things doesn't exist. But it only exists when the woman is the one
The husband.
that
And
lose.
sometimes they accuse her that she was one that killed
The
her husband. Like I can't imagine myself. They will beat my husband, then they will force me to drink the water.
Imagine.
God forbid.
You know, some of these things, I love it that we are saying it here because people only think it happens in movies. And we just have minds that this thing is just a moonlight story tales that they tell children. But the fact is that they are existing. It happens, but we don't even know. Most people don't even know. And I'm happy today that we are discussing these things. One, for people to know that these things are still existing, and then we look at the way forward to it. I will just add one or two to it. I think the one is the Osu caste system, mainly in Igbo land. If these people are considered to be second-class citizens because of their ancestors, yes. How do one become an Osu? Is either you were sold to slavery, and when you're sold to slavery, the person that bought you in order to make an atonement to an idol.
Wow.
Or make a sacrifice or a promise, and like that you now belong to that very idol. And once you belong to any idol, the society, like, you are now a stigma in that everybody tries to avoid you because
They
this
stay away
person
from you.
belongs to an idol.
Meaning you can't get married,
Yeah.
you can't go to school, nothing.
The other people, the only way you get married is that you marry to an Osu like yourself. And the other way you can become an Osu, that was mainly during the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
Is that those people that are weak and they felt that they didn't have enough protection, they cannot deal with those people that are coming to take over. Then what they do is that they run to idols and they go and like pledge allegiance to them. I will serve you just for you to protect me. So once anybody they do it publicly, so people will see that this person is untouchable. The person now belongs to an idol. But the bad thing that comes with it is that you no longer belong to the society. You're a second-class citizen. And if it's a taboo for a freeborn, yes, to go and talk with you, you don't acquire some titles, you cannot get married to a freeborn. So you see people bearing names like Nwosu. It means that they are children from an Osu generation.
Like Monsu.
Yes, but I'm happy because I know that around December 28, 2018, that the Inri community gathered and they put an end to Osuke system. I think a particular community also did it in Soka because it's an Igbo practice. They did it in Soka at, let me say, around 2023 or 2022. And what I'm trying to say is that people, yes, they are embracing the truth.
Some people now, there are some culture, like some state, they are already beginning to stop these practices.
Yes, they are stopping it, but the thing is that it's already stick to some people's like mindset that you are no Osu, whether abolished or not abolished is still there. Then coming over to the widowhood practice, we have seen so many of them we have seen so many of them. Aside from the fact that you are not allowed to take over some inheritance that belongs to your family that you and your husband acquired, especially, I'm talking about the Igbo setting now, especially if you give birth to only female children. Just say bye-bye
to your child.
Not to your child, to whatever property that you must have acquired. Aside that, They have the one that you have to shave off the hair of your head. Yes, you have to do that whether you like it or not. Then you wear this particular white or black attire every day of your life till like,
for like 3 months. Yes.
So the thing about it is that I don't see anything wrong with it if the person decided to. If it is a decision, I don't see it as anything, but whereby it is compulsory. It is compulsory. You don't even go about your businesses. You are just at home. People are bringing you things. You might just send out your children.
You can't tell me how to mourn my husband. You can't force me to tell me how to mourn my husband. I don't.
You just have to stay at home and you are doing nothing, wearing black and black every day with your no hair on your head.
There was even one I heard. I think Onwa, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, the girl was like, when her dad died, they didn't allow her mom to know where her father was buried till date. Her father died how many years ago? Till today, the mother doesn't know.
What was the reason?
I think they said if the woman should find out where her husband was buried, I think she won't last long. Probably she will die too or something like that.
Maybe there's a reason for that. I'm from Owan. So for that, I think if a woman die of a witchcraft.
Of witchcraft.
So
they are witches actually.
Yes, don't forget
I think that's it. Or maybe she committed an abominable act before she died.
The idea.
Abominable act before she died, and there was no restitution before she died. I think that.
Okay. What of this very absurd one that you have to take water off that was washed off a dead body?
A dead body.
Just when someone's died, after staying in the morgue for how many days, it smell like the stench alone.
It's not the contamination, the infection.
They will not bathe that body and give me to drink.
I did not believe, not until there's one movie I watched, Widow.
Yes.
I think it's Stella Damascus. She was the one that acted it.
Oh, was Patience was also in the movie?
I can't really remember. It was just it was a true life story. Like I wept in that movie. No. Like Igbo's tradition is when it comes to widow practices.
Yeah, not just widows. Anything women just they ask God, I beg you.
I went to a friend's father's burial maybe last 2 years at Delta State. Though they are somehow Delta Igbo. That was she was not local government. They are somehow Delta Igbos.
Yes.
After the burial, they have to tell the woman to go to the river midnight for 7 days. You go and be crying beside the river.
I know that's to achieve what exactly
tradition.
Oh God!
Like she wear black. Like it becomes so irritating.
But will her crying make her husband go to heaven? Let
me say something. If the women folks are doing that and the men folks are doing that as well, I won't even see a problem. We just term it tradition. But when it's one-sided, I see it as injustice.
Yeah, it's more like they're after us.
Yes, I see it as injustice because if a woman should die, no, I've never seen a man being forced to shave his hair. Wear black. Tomorrow most of them will open up their shops.
They're going to open up their shops. Like their wife can die today and tomorrow they are bringing another woman into their home.
God save women.
God save women in Africa. It's only Africa that do that.
Exactly. So okay, I think we have talked much of those practices, and I think that with this, most people will know what's going on. We also talked about child marriage and tribal marks. And I think there's another one. These superstitious beliefs that something will be wrong with you. And it might be a medical condition, but because the oracle said, and you'll be dying and be taking local herbs and doing some magic.
Many people have died in the process.
And like that's how you meet your death. I think, and those are some of the absurd practices that we see in Nigerian tradition. And with that, we go over to the next point of discussion, which is why do Nigerians continue to embrace practices that may seem illogical? We are saying this right now, but that doesn't stop people that are practicing it to continue doing it. So why? And some people don't see it as anything. Yes, why should I marry an Osu? Why shouldn't I give my child a tribal mark? We are just saying it because we have been educated to an extent. So those people that don't see it as anything, why do they continue practicing it, knowing the odds?
Okay, like you said, now you mentioned we've been educated to an extent. Yes. Illiteracy. Most of them are illiterate. They didn't go to school. Shey you get?
Yes.
So it's something they are not aware of, like, oh, this thing you guys are doing is wrong, because their forefathers have been doing it since.
Yes,
so they feel it's right, and they have to continue what their forefathers started. Shey you get?
Yes.
And most of them keep doing it because of the fear of their God, because they're like, okay, we've been doing this since for many years. If we stop it now, we might die, or something will happen. Do you get? And I think most of them still do it out of ignorance. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, definitely. She have already stated every point. It's fear and ignorance. It's fear and ignorance.
I think,
but funny enough, some people have knowledge about it. This is not right. But I don't know. Like this genital mutilation, I think an average Nigerian will know that this is an average Nigerian will know the side effects it has to a girl child. So because during the process, some of them have what's it called, infections, different diseases, because this thing, whenever they are even doing it, is not in a sanitized environment. No, their body is not exposed to some diseases, and some people are aware about it. Yet maybe because they turn blind. No, is it stubbornness, or I don't know.
I actually won't call it stubbornness, because most of them usually say if you don't circumcise your girl child, she will end up sleeping around. They call most of them prostitutes.
Yes, I'm thinking about this particular infection that happens to girls that get married early. I think his son, I can't remember the name, but it makes them like
they'll be weaving anyhow.
Yes,
their bladder will wet.
Yes. Or is it H something? I've forgotten though, but we still get back to that one. I think lack of education and awareness, like you said, is part of it. Because if you're not educated and you are not exposed, you cannot have alternatives.
Sure.
Your mind is stuck to one perspective. So you cannot even compare this and the other one, because you're only limited to one perspective. So you cannot even argue anything. You just believe. Another thing is, I think the economy has a social economic impact, because if you are living quite well and everything is going very well for you, it gets some things where they not go tell you. You already know. But when you are poor, you are suffering. Definitely. Anything they tell you, you just believe, because you are helpless. You don't know what to do. Other people do it in order to be part of the society. They don't want people to conform. Imagine they say that once you get married to this lady that is an Osu, you're not part of our age grade. You're not part of. After thinking of all those things, you just go and tell the girl, I think we should just get things over and let's get go our separate ways. Yeah, exactly. So people do it because they don't want to be like cast out. Yeah. Yes, they want to belong to where they are supposed to belong, and because of the fear of not being among, they just say, okay, let's go along with it. Okay. We are going somewhere, definitely. So, okay, the next point is, how do these absurdities shape our cultural identity and collective psyche? Like, how does it affect us?
Yeah, it affects us in so many ways. Like,
mostly negative.
It shapes our arts. It shapes our thinking, which we have been mentioning since. It shapes the way we feel self. Like when you go to the northern, I'm not trying to point any tribal any tribe now. Yes. But it's just that it's very glary. It's very glary to see. When you go to the northern part where just this child what's it called? Child marriage. 15 they don't see anything towards it. They don't say anything bad about it, because it has shaped their how they think, how they act. If maybe in Edo State now, we have a tradition that in our specifically, if they are doing age group, a girl child have to naked herself, open her bust. Up till now they are doing it. Maybe after this
show, actually like this.
After the show, maybe I should give you just a picture of an image of that. Have to open the bust. No, under.
I want to ask something. What about the guys' pose? Like, are they going to?
They'll be dressed now.
They'll be dressed.
It's just for female, a girl child.
So the fun is for them.
When they are walking around, like, and nobody sends whether you are actually naked, because they don't feel that they see it like a norms.
Yes,
you understand.
Yes.
That's shaping their idea, their arts, their feelings. So that's it.
Do you have something to say about this?
Actually, she has said it all. Something that you've been practicing for a very long time. It's very, very difficult to change. So now, like your head, everything has been confirmed. Like, this is how it should be, and this is how it has always been.
Yes. Okay, I want to talk about the impact that it makes to people psychologically. Let me take, for example, a child that grew up and you have this very weird, like, tribal marks that run from your.
If you're actually talking like the victim perspective, right?
It's from different. I'm taking it from the victim's perspective. Yes.
Okay.
It runs from your mouth to your eye. And you want to be a beauty pageant, like
it's
that's
not
your
possible.
that will like it will get you depressed, like looking at yourself and where you want to be, and then you look back at your face. Yes, you know that you can't achieve anything with this, and they just it's not true,
but be nice.
You just look at yourself and you're just tired because
when you see how your partner is
because they don't even do it in a little way. They have to stretch it, like
they'll make it like 3 by the right side.
3 is even
like
small.
3 very long to come like
and okay, again, let me take for example the Osu curse system. Okay. We are talking about people that are saying, what about the person that is being called an Osu? It makes them feel inferior. You're a second-class citizen. Nobody wants to mingle with you. If they are doing some title, like let me say some occasions, you cannot receive some titles because you
are restricted to some
Yes,
things,
people don't even want to do some certain business with you because you are an Osu. It makes you like feel less of yourself. You
Most
don't
of them
belong.
won't even want to live. They will probably want to even commit suicide. Like they're better off being dead than
even if we did not have life experience. Nigerian movie have teach us many about teach us all this also and all of that, and so,
then at the other side, you yourself that feel you're a freeborn, you now look down on the Osu person as, oh, this is a second-class citizen, and you feel you start having an illusion of a hierarchy that is not even existent, because when it comes to the in grand scheme of things, someone being an Osu and you being a freeborn, it doesn't make sense. That person can do better than you in so many places, in so many ways. So it creates that superiority that doesn't exist. To the extent that you see somebody that is an Osu but doing well and you want to learn something from him, but the moment you realize that that person is an Osu, you just back off. It has also limited you from getting to somewhere. You are feeling superior, whereas that's not even the yardstick of measuring superiority. I think that's the effect it has had on, like, I'm talking mainly on psychology now.
Definitely.
Yes. So I think we have talked about that too now. I think it's fine. We are learning and we are going somewhere. Now we want to talk about the challenges. What can we do? Yes, what can we do to challenge the status quo?
Like preferring solutions.
Yes, and what can we do to challenge it and then usher in positive changes?
Okay.
Not just we. What can we do first, and what then can other people that are listening to us or going to listen to us maybe sometimes later, what should they do in order to escape this?
Okay, for me, just the little contribution I will have before Precious tells the elaborate.
Oh, you already know who's going to say something elaborate.
We need more voices. We need more voices. Yeah. Like just as we are doing now.
Yes.
Like if we keep on hammering it, if it is in writing, if it is on social media, thank God for social media these days. Just content that you know that it will change the orientation of some people about some tradition. So you place it there, and come on, tradition is just a way to shaping our morals. It's not something that should put us in bondage. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if there are ones that you think that they are absorbed, then let's put it away or put it aside, or let them rebrand or rechecked. Let them be checked first before maybe putting it out there for, okay, this is it. And another one is maybe NGOs, non-governmental organizations. They should set in just maybe for these widowhood practices.
Yes.
There should be people that stand up for them. Child marriage, people that stand up for them to speak on. There should be people that are these people's voices. You can't tell me a woman will be losing her husband in a depressed manner. The little property the husband will leave behind for her, you will say that she cannot access
the money
it.
now we not collect.
You understand? These are absorbed tradition, or you now begin to either will or no. People will say, why didn't the woman the husband write a will? Either with will or no will. In as much there are 10 people that can attest to it, I was married to this man, then I should have the legal right to his
You're talking
property.
about people that were there during the wedding ceremony. They know now.
Everybody knows
No,
now.
you know there are some people that there is no even what's it called, legal marriage.
But the kids are there.
The kids are there. Will you throw them away?
Yeah.
Do you want to throw the children to the streets? No. So that's why I use that word. If there are 10 or up to 10 people that can attest, oh, this woman is married to this man, then will or no will, there should be a legal right for that woman to be able to claim the property.
Yes.
So that is what I can say.
Precious, can we hear from you?
Okay, for me, I'll say we have to leverage the folk media in the sense that, we all know that the medium might be available but not preferable.
Yeah.
In the sense that, okay, that we have some rural areas where you mentioned social media now. Yeah, we can use it. But that there are some communities that are not really exposed to this new media, no technology, nothing. So in that kind of community, they have to leverage on the folk media, like using storytelling, meeting at the village square, using the town square, using different
because this is where this tradition even take place.
Exactly.
This is where they gave us this notion of tradition.
Because now we can't be living in the rural environment now, and something like this, want to talk about it or want to fight against this, and we'll go to BBC or CNN to speak about it. They won't see it. They won't see it. Then also talk about the stakeholders, like the community leader, the opinion leader, the ballet of the community, the chief, and I think the local clergy. Those people, they have to come together, share their ideas, perspectives, and all that, to see how they can let them scrap this evil. Because I would just call it, this is evil. They should scrap it totally.
Okay.
Then they should be fostering open dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel we need to create more awareness and all of this. Then like that money right now that I spoke about, they are down the ladder in this thing. I'm talking about this local government thing.
Yes.
So they should be more exposed. Like the government needs to work hand in hand with these people to see how they can put a stop to this practice. Yes.
Okay, I'll pick from what you people have said. I think one is advocacy and the other one is activism. If these people have people that are speaking up for them, because most of them are not educated and they don't know anything. So if they have people that are educated and have the power to speak for them, I think those people should make themselves available. And activists that can fight for the rights of these children, especially the ones that children and women are involved, like child marriage, mutilation, widowhood practices. I think there should be activists that are fighting for these people. And again, I think through empowerment, things are going to get better, especially empowering those people that are marginalized, those Osu people, the girls that got married quite early, and the women that have passed through some awful practices. I think that if they are being empowered and given a chance to speak up their concerns and say what they have been through and telling other women, trying to like raise an awareness for them, I think that will also go a long way. And back to what I was trying to say something about a particular disease that girls, yes.
Okay, VIF.
So I've actually found that, and it's called VVF.
VVF.
Visco vagina fistula.
Okay.
Yes, it makes them to urinate like there is no more control. Okay. So imagine what these people are passing through, because their body is not even yet that mature for them to start having sex and giving birth to children. And the men that are getting married to them, they don't think of all of these things. And the funny thing is that they have seen it happen to other kids, because I will call them kids. They have seen it happen to kid A, kid B, and you go on to do it. That shows how dead their conscience are. So I think we've said a lot of things in today's podcast in order to raise awareness and look at some of these practices. And we believe that we have made our own little impact today. Definitely. We have given the information and we have proffered solutions for people to go about it. And with that, we have come to the end of this beautiful podcast, and we hope that when you listen, you're going to learn a lot from this and also give your contribution. Do well to subscribe to our channels on YouTube and Spotify. Until next time, bye.
Bye.